Welcome to another edition of the Mav and Call Show.
Howdy, howdy. Just my face.
Mav,
I
yeah,
shaved it. There's no more,
yeah,
no
yeah.
more, what'd you say, baby badger?
Baby badger.
That's funny. All right, what do we got for him today, Mav?
Well, today we are going to be doing 80s TV shows.
TV shows.
Man, they had a lot of good shows in the 80s.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, there was a crap ton of shows in the 80s. I mean, some, most of these right now are the popular ones, not even the obscure ones, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had the best TV shows, I think, because everything was original back then. Nothing had to be remade or rehashed.
All the shows, the kids shows, the adult shows, all
Yeah.
of them, they were all good. The
Yeah.
sitcoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So our first show today, Call, and
Yes.
I'm sure you remember it. One of my favorites, Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, Fraggle Rock. Yes, I liked Gobo.
Yeah, I liked Uncle Traveling Matt.
Yeah, Uncle Traveling Matt. He had like a catchphrase. I don't remember what it is, but
Yeah.
he always said something funny.
Yeah, he was cool. And the Dozers, you remember the Dozers?
Yeah, the Dozers.
And the Fraggles would always destroy whatever they made because they
Yeah,
kept
they was-
eating their
They're
construction.
And then they had the Gorgs. And
Yep.
the trash heap.
The Gorgs. Yep. I remember my daughter was young. I don't know, 8, 9 maybe. And we were watching Fraggle Rock, and the son caught a Fraggle.
I caught a Fraggle.
And he said, "Look, Pa, I caught a
I
Fraggle."
caught a Fraggle.
And he said, "I wouldn't give you a brass meatball for a Fraggle." And my daughter lost it.
That
and
is funny, man.
and
A
she-
brass meatball.
she uses it to this day, and she's 29 now, so
Yeah.
she's never forgotten it in
Man,
all these
Our
years.
kids are getting old, man.
Yeah, I got old, bro. I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Mine is not 29, but he's old enough to drink now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, you were around when my daughter was a newborn,
Yeah.
you know. It's crazy how time just goes.
Yeah, the last time dude, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Because we didn't hang out for a while.
Right, I moved
And
away.
so the last time I seen her, she was literally a baby in arms.
I moved away.
So what we got next?
Punky Brewster.
Punky Brewster. She had an episode that scared me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And they was in this cave or something, and her buddy, the blonde-haired kid,
Mhm.
wandered off, and they couldn't find him.
Yeah.
And when they did, they saw just his face.
Right.
And it was like sticking out of a wall or something, and it was all distorted looking.
Mhm.
And I kind of remember him looking something like a bat. But man, that episode scared the crap out of me when I was a kid, dude. I saw a thing on YouTube where a lot of people remember that episode, and it is embedded in their brains.
Right.
Like just now, you mentioned Punky Brewster, and that's the first thing I thought of was
Right.
that in particular.
See, now the only thing I really remember about Punky Brewster is she wore 2 different shoes.
Yep. And the shoestrings were different colors too that didn't match.
Yeah, the shoes
either.
weren't they didn't match.
She always had that vest on.
Yep.
Yep.
That's about, but I do remember Punky Brewster, just,
Yeah. She was a wild child.
Our next great TV show, Coach.
Yes.
Coach was awesome.
They had Dauber.
Dauber was great.
Coach had an assistant coach.
I don't remember his name.
I don't either, but he was a goofball.
Oh,
man.
he was funny.
He would get everything wrong when he did.
He was funny. I remember one episode, he got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat buffet because he wouldn't stop eating.
Yeah, he was there for hours.
And he was really upset over that.
Hayden Fox. Coach.
Night Court.
Yeah, I loved Night Court.
John Larroquette, Harry Anderson, Marky Post. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, they were Bull.
You know who I liked on that show was Roz.
Roz was cool.
She wasn't
Yep.
messing around with nobody. She was all serious all
Yep.
the time.
Yep.
And then they had Mac. He was like
Yep.
the
The clerk.
yeah,
The clerk of
yep.
the court. Yeah.
And he was funny too, man.
Oh, that was a great show. Great
Yeah.
show. And all the the people who came in front of him for trial was hilarious.
Yeah, dude, them was like the funnier ones actually.
You
They would
know?
always pick up. They had like hobos and prostitutes and
Yep.
stuff. They was
Yep.
always coming to court.
All
Dan
right.
Fielding was like, "Oh, she's a prostitute. Hey, all right.
Yeah.
I think you should let her go, Your Honor."
John Larroquette was amazing in that show.
Yeah.
Our next show, Family Matters.
Family Matters. You got the Urkels. Urkel and
Yep.
the Winslows.
Yep.
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 Yeah, I like that show.
Yeah. You always
And you can't keep no cheese in the house with Urkel around, man.
and
You got any cheese?
you always told me about the one episode you remembered. Tell our viewers.
Oh, yeah. So Urkel was always after Laura Winslow, and she would not give him the time of the day. And one of the episodes, Steve was like, screw it, I'm done. I'm moving away. He told her, he's like, I'm leaving. I'm never coming back and whatever. And then she's like, asking him why or whatever. He's like, Laura, like, I worship the rain that falls from the sky, that waters the grass from the ground, that grows from the ground you walk upon.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the sweetest thing I ever heard, man. I was like, wow, man, I've actually used that. And it works.
Wow.
And she was like, Steve, why you say things like that? And then she admitted that she loved him and wants to marry him. So they got together at the end of that episode. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, he finally got the girl.
Yeah, you always got to have a good ending,
Yep.
MacGyver.
Yes, MacGyver. He makes something out of nothing. Oh, there's a motorcycle going by.
Yeah, it is.
Wow, these microphones are sensitive.
Very.
But yeah, so MacGyver, yeah, you give him a paperclip and a snorkel, he'll break out of the fucking jail. Sorry, I didn't mean to say the F word, you guys, my bad. That's me being me. I got a sailor mouth there.
Yeah, he could build a stick of dynamite out of like a Pez dispenser and some duct tape.
Yeah, give me a bunch of firecrackers and you empty out all the powder.
You know what I mean? He could build anything. MacGyver was cool like that,
Yeah.
The Wonder Years.
Yeah, that was a great show. Everybody
Fantastic
watched that show.
Yes.
Everybody did.
Yes.
I don't care who you were.
Yep. And the finale really got me.
I don't remember the finale. I probably do, just don't remember it now.
They were talking about, the narrator came on, of course, Daniel Stern.
Yeah.
And he, because he's older,
Mm-hmm.
and he's talking about how him and Winnie stayed in touch throughout the years. His dad passed away. His mom became big in real estate, I believe it was. And then he says, Winnie and I stayed in contact all these years. She went away to like France or somewhere.
Yeah.
And finally, when she came back to the States, my wife and I picked her up at the airport.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what? I watched this whole thing to see Kevin and Winnie finally get together, and
They're not.
they're not. Right. So, yeah, that was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I don't remember that episode. I'm going to have to watch that.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever seen it.
That was the final episode, the series finale, but
Yeah.
it was, that's how that went down.
Huh.
Crazy. Our next show, which I'm sure everybody's going to remember, Saved by the Bell.
Yep. You wake up in the morning.
Or as I refer to it, the show that wouldn't die.
They tried to.
3 or 4 times it had been canceled.
Yep.
It really was, until finally, somehow, some way, it took off.
Yeah.
My
favorite character was Screech.
Yeah, Screech was funny.
The dorky kid.
Yep. You had so many great actors: Mario Lopez, Dustin Diamond,
Yep.
Mark Paul Gosselaar, Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah, that's his name. His active Mark Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Paul Gosselaar. Yeah. Tiffany Amber, of course.
I couldn't remember it the other day, remember?
Yep.
It was bugging me. And I just now. Yeah, that's cool.
Now we're on to a show that I'm sure a lot of people remember, because this was very popular. Growing Pains.
Yeah, I like Growing Pains. The
Yes.
Seaver family.
Kirk Cameron, Tracy Gold.
Alan
just
Thicke. Joanna Kearns was the mom.
Yeah, yeah. It was a
I don't
great show.
remember Ben's real name.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
But I do remember that Leonardo DiCaprio got started on
Yep.
Growing Pains.
Actually, he was in a commercial first. I just seen a thing about it. He was in a cereal commercial for Kellogg's.
Yeah, well, I'm saying
then-
his
and then
his
they-
big
they
acting
saw that and they
thing
put him on there.
yeah, Growing Pains. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good show. It was
And he
just,
came a long way too, man.
oh yeah,
Long way. He's one of the great actors out there now.
yeah. Growing Pains was just a funny, family show, and
Yeah.
Family Ties.
Yeah.
APK, Mr. Alex P. Keaton.
Michael J. Fox.
Yes, of course, his sister was played by Justine Bateman,
Yep.
sister to Jason Bateman, and they're just great
Tina
actors.
Yothers was the other sister.
yeah. I mean, it was a good show.
Do you know the dad's name? I mean, in the show, it was oh man, I can't remember his name in the show.
I know it, but I can't think of it.
Wow.
I know it, but I
But
can't.
he was real famous too. Like he made the one movies where the things came up from underground.
Yeah.
Tremors.
Yes.
I'm drawing blanks on everything today.
Me
man.
too.
My mind is foggy.
Man, and I know his name like the back of my hand. I
Yeah,
love
me
Tremors.
too.
Yeah, Tremors was great.
Mm-hmm.
Our next show, I'm sure a lot of people will remember. Alf.
Oh yeah, Alf. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
He's forever trying to get a cat
He
sandwich.
came from Melmac. Yeah, alien life form.
Alien life form. That's what it stood for. Yeah.
Do you remember the episode where he had the hiccups real bad? And they was like getting nervous because his hiccups were like super loud.
No, I really
like
don't
the
remember.
neighbors could hear it.
No.
I remember that.
No, I don't remember like episodes per se.
I remember a few of them.
Because I haven't seen it in so long, of course. But
Well, I know you might remember this one. The neighbor, the nosy neighbor, was like kind of knew about Alf, but she wasn't sure. She thought she saw some stuff. Like she saw him looking at her from his window into her window.
Yeah.
And he ducked away. Well, later on, he did a TV transmission and showed himself to her, and was like, "You're dreaming. This isn't real," you know. And then, so yeah.
Man, yeah, I don't remember the episodes per se. It has been many years since I've seen
I
Alf.
used to love that show. We had little Alf toys and everything. Man.
Now, our next show, I remember a few episodes, and I might need the viewers' help with this. Quantum Leap,
Yes.
Scott Bakula.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah. Now, the episodes I remember, I believe it was a 3-parter, and there was a woman with like crystal blue eyes, and he fell in love with her throughout the episodes.
I don't remember.
And he was like like a Southern lawyer, and she, it was like at first it was like really scary because the way she looked, the way it made her look, but the episodes were fantastic. I wish I could remember the name of those. Because those were my 3, like that was my favorite, was that part of that series. I just love the way they did it, I'm going to have to, if you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know, because I do not remember the name of those episodes.
Right. Yeah, he was always trying to leap back home. He had, his name was Sam on the show. He had Al with his little machine
Ziggy.
called Ziggy. Yeah.
Well,
Ziggy says you're supposed to jump off this bridge, but don't worry, you'll be okay. You'll leap out of your body just in time before you hit the ground. Like, he's like, "Oh, I'm not too sure on this, man." I'll just go on and do it. People would walk through Al, because he wasn't really there. Like,
it was a hologram.
Yeah, only Sam could see him.
Now we're on to one of Cause's favorite TV shows, the A-Team.
The A-Team. I pity the fool.
Mr. T.
Yep. Dude, I remember when I was a little boy, and So there was the A-Team, and Mr. T was on the A-Team, but Mr. T also had his own little cartoon and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, he did. Yeah,
I used to, as a little boy, when I was probably like 4 or 5 years old, you could ask my mom, I used to go around whispering Mr. T over and over all day, dude. I'm like, Mr. T, Mr. T, Mr. T. I don't know why. Like, he was just like the coolest guy ever. He
Oh
had
yeah,
all the jewelry
yeah,
on and everything out there,
yeah,
like 10,000 necklaces.
yeah. Mr. T was cool.
Yeah, that
He
was all. That
was.
was all real gold too,
And
man.
you had, of course, Murdoch,
Yeah, yeah. He was one of my other favorites.
Face,
Yep.
and Hannibal.
Hannibal, yeah, Hannibal.
So the A-Team was awesome, though.
Wasn't Hannibal was the brains of the operation?
Yeah, he
wasn't
was the
the old
leader.
guy with the
Cigar.
cigar. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he always had black leather gloves on.
Yep. Now,
Yep.
our next show, I'm sure a lot of people are going to remember. This was very, very popular, kind of like Growing Pains. But it's Who's the Boss?
Yeah.
Tony Danza and Judith Light.
Yep. And Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano.
That's where she got her big break.
Yes, it was. Who's the Boss? I think was just a really good show.
Yeah. He was a retired baseball player, became their housekeeper.
Yeah. Trying to give his daughter a better life. Yeah. And
she moved in with Angela and Mona, and they had a daughter played by Alyssa Milano.
I love Mona.
Yeah.
Mona.
Man.
Mona was great.
Funny. She always had the real quick comebacks, you know.
Yep. I loved Mona, but Who's the Boss was just a really good show.
Yeah.
Our next one is The Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy.
He was a stunt guy.
Yep.
And they kind of like a PI or something on the side or something, and bounty hunter. And he always tried to solve crimes, but it was a good show.
Yeah, it was. I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah. Fall Guy was awesome.
It's hard to remember.
Lee Majors was in it. Yeah.
It's hard to remember. It's been so long since I've seen it. But I used to love watching it. Every time it came on, I watched it.
I remember this next show just being funny for the sake of being funny. Head of the Class.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good show. We watched that all the time. You know, I knew a guy that looked like Arvin. Yeah. He was the maintenance guy with my dad at my high school. He looked just like him, too.
Oh, wow.
We called him Arvin. And they had Dennis Blunden in the back on the computer. He turned out to be not such a good guy.
Yeah.
With the whole...
Yeah.
He made kid
I
shows.
Remember...
he's not a good guy.
I remember Howard Hessman.
Yeah, was the teacher. Yep.
Who... He was great in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was just really good.
I used to get that show mixed up with Drexel's Class. If you remember Drexel's Class, it took place in the classroom too.
Vaguely, yeah. Our next one, I think the ladies are gonna love it. 21 Jump Street.
Oh yeah, the ladies definitely loved it. It had Johnny Depp in it.
Yeah, that 21 Jump Street.
Johnny Depp and Richard Grieco.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, the ladies were all over
Undercover Cops.
Jump Street. Yep.
Undercover Cops at the college or whatever.
Yep. I don't remember like any episodes.
Yeah, I remember
per se.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing them like at their station or whatever and getting their assignments and you know what I mean, like the way it began or whatever. But it's been years. Our next one is really awesome. Facts of Life.
Yeah, that was good too. But what was that? A girls' home or something?
Yeah, it was a house where the girls were housed while they went to boarding school.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like a school.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the school, but the only thing I really remember about the show is George Clooney got his start on that show.
Yeah, I remember he was telling me about that.
Yeah. He played their maintenance guy or something.
Yeah.
So
my favorite character was Natalie. I liked Natalie. She was funny.
Yeah. Natalie.
A lot of people like Jo because she was like the tomboy or whatever.
Right.
You know, smart mouth, you know.
Yep.
Tough girl. And Blair and Tootie.
Yeah.
And of course, Mrs. Garrett.
I like Blair.
I like
Blair
Mrs. Garrett. Cool. She was cool.
Now this next show, I know I've heard behind the scenes they may not have gotten along so well, but on the show, their chemistry was undeniable. Moonlighting.
Yeah, with Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
And who was the woman? Oh, it wasn't Sybil Shepherd, was it?
Sybil Shepherd, yes.
Was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was her. Yep.
Yeah, it was David and Madeline. I think
Something
their
like
name,
that, yeah.
their TV show name was.
Yeah, it was, I loved Moonlighting. I mean,
What was it even about?
she owned a detective agency.
Oh, so it was
So
okay.
yeah. Yeah,
Makes sense,
it was
I
just a
guess.
good show.
Yeah, and
I
it
mean,
was about them like being in love too, or whatever.
later on, yeah.
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 My mom used to watch that show all the time.
Yep. Now,
I mention my mom a lot. You notice that? I'm a mama's
yeah.
boy, everybody. I love my mama. You don't talk about my mama.
Now our next show
I will hit you.
is Silver Spoons.
Yep. Here we are, face to face, a couple of silver spoons. Yeah, that was good. Ricky
Yeah.
Schroeder.
Yeah, Silver Spoons is just a good show. I remember his dad had a train that went like all through the house and stuff, you know.
They had a butler.
I always wanted that train.
Yeah, that train was cool.
Of course, my house isn't set up like that,
Man,
so it wouldn't do me any good.
He had arcade games and everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was actually playing a game when I don't remember the game he was playing, but when Ricky Schroeder walked in and asked him his name, and he said, "Well, I'm your son." And then you hear the game go woo 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 like he died. You know,
I think it was Galaga.
it was
It was something.
something like that. Yeah.
And Alfonso Ribeiro, that's where he like started out.
Yeah.
He started out on there. Well, first he started on Pepsi commercials, and then he went to that.
Yep.
Usually these actors that came up like that, they started out on commercials. Keanu Reeves started out in a cereal commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, there's a lot of I think different actors who you start small and go big, of course. So
yeah,
you know what I mean.
And another show I used to watch when I was younger was the Golden Girls.
Yes, I remember the Golden Girls. Yes,
they were pretty funny, even though I was a kid. Like
Blanche and
B. Arthur was on there.
Yeah.
Did you know
Betty White?
You know the little old lady, the little one.
Yeah.
Did you know she was the youngest out of all of them?
Yes.
I was like, no way, dude.
Yeah.
She looked so old.
Well, they did a good job on her wigs and makeup. Yeah, they did.
They really did.
Yeah, she was cool. We had so many great shows in the 80s, dude.
Yeah, we did.
You know.
I wish I could go back, man.
Oh, I'm telling you. Just because of the movies and TV shows we had.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great time.
More than movies and shows, like the whole 80s was the experience, man.
Oh yeah.
The video games, the cartoons, the toys, everything. We're going to be covering all of that stuff.
Oh yeah. So
each category. Just
to give you guys a heads up, we've been getting a lot of questions and things about how we formulate the show and how we come up with ideas and stuff. So we're going to try to give you guys a behind the scenes look on the next episode. And if you have any questions or any comments or anything, you can message us at Mav and Call on Facebook. Just use the messenger. It'll come right to me. So message your questions or your comments for me or Call. We've got a lot of people talking about how they love the 80s shows just because it's really takes them back to things they haven't. Right. And a lot of people...
or you can leave a comment in the...
on the videos.
On our videos. You can leave comments there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talk about whatever you want. If you know us personally, you can always just message our phones.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah. So go, we're welcome to message anyway, or just, you can leave a comment on the videos or Facebook even. Yeah. We get them on that page too. We also have the email.
We went through that list pretty quick, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were trying to get to mention everything, so if you guys got questions or comments, or is there anything you wonder, let us know. We've got a few right now that
maybe you can ask us anything, man. Just as long as it's not like, if it ain't something too touchy or personal, You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
We'll answer any of your questions you have.
Yes. Yes.
We got a couple fans out there.
Yeah, we got a few people who comment on so many different ways, and we love that.
I think our biggest fan is my mom. That's awesome, Mom. Thank you. I love you.
Yes, shout out to
Tell
Miss
your
Carol.
friends. Tell your
we
friends.
love you so much.
Tell Brian to tell everybody at work.
Yes, we love Miss Carol. She is awesome. She is helping us actually with our live show that we're going to do. We're discussing different places, and we're trying to narrow it down to one. So, however, we're going to do our live show.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any ideas, feel free, always, because we think it'd be cool to have a live show. So,
It would. I mean, if we once we take off, man, like we can have guest stars and stuff like that. Not stars, but guest people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or like when we go live, we can have them on the online with us.
Right.
Talking online. Nobody would see your face or nothing.
And we're not, professionals or, we're just two guys real. We're not pretending or anything, but these are just things that we love talking about and discussing.
Yeah, even when we're not doing this, when
we discuss
when we're just sitting around, this is what we talk about.
Yeah, this is the thing. Now,
like we're not stuck in the 80s in our head or nothing. We don't live like that or nothing.
Right.
But we talk about it often.
Yeah, we talk about it was a
sharing
great
memories
time
and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we grew up together, so our memories, a lot of our memories are things we did together.
Yeah.
Now we got a few minutes left, so we are going to give you guys a little taste of the next thing to come.
What's that?
The cartoons.
Oh yeah, cartoons. We had the best ones.
We had the Wuzzles by Disney.
Yep.
They were mix and matched two animals, like a lion and a bumblebee.
Yeah, that's the one I remember the most.
Yeah.
And the elephant one, the elephant and the bird or whatever it was.
A
butterfly.
A lot of people don't remember Shirt Tails.
Yeah.
I remember Shirt Tails.
I don't remember it, but I remember the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the name.
And another one that people may or may not know or remember, you may have to Google pictures of it, but we do try to show what we're talking about. The Munchie-Cheese.
Yeah, the Munchie-Cheese. You remember the Pound Puppies?
Yes.
I remember Pound Puppies.
My sister watched Pound Puppies.
I went as a Pound Puppy for Halloween one year. Remember the old Halloween costumes they used to sell? The plastic you couldn't
breathe. Face, you couldn't breathe.
Yeah, it had a little tiny hole everybody stuck their tongue through. And barely, it was just the very tip.
And it does not shock me that you went as a Pound Puppy.
And it came with the body part too that you put on. It was like a shower curtain.
Yeah.
Had
same material pretty much.
Had whatever hero or whatever it was their body.
Yep. That way, if it rained, you didn't get wet.
Yeah.
You could still have the costume.
Halloween is so different now.
Oh, I'm telling you.
And man, you know what? That's what rocked about the 80s too, man. I remember going trick-or-treating until like 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
We would just go until we couldn't go no more, and we would have our pillowcases full of it. We didn't have no little bucket that was required these days. We had pillowcases full of candy, man.
Yep.
And then you had your bag snatchers.
Yep.
You got to watch out for the bag snatchers, man. They'll come up and snatch your bag because we didn't go with our parents sometimes.
Right. We went with your friends.
We went with the older relatives and friends,
Yeah.
And
I always took my brother because I was the oldest,
and we went up to the houses that didn't have lights on and everything.
Right, yeah.
There was no cops patrolling the streets. It was just kids.
Here
all over
is another way deep dive that some may not remember.
What's that?
My Pet Monster.
My Pet Monster, yeah, definitely. Well, we got to save all these for the next podcast.
Oh, we got a bunch. I have a...
Okay, but yeah, my Pet Monster
I think
was
we
awesome.
had as many cartoons, if not more cartoons, than TV shows, and we had a crap ton of TV shows.
Yeah.
So, but if you guys have anything for us, or you want to have questions, we're willing to answer. go ahead and, like I said, hit us on Facebook or message us on, privately on Facebook.
Find a way.
Yeah, yeah. Get your comments and questions and answers too. Or
And if you like our show, tell people about us, man.
oh yeah, absolutely.
And if you don't like our show, tell people about us.
Yeah,
man.
like and subscribe.
We don't care if people laugh at us or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, tell people that don't like it too. Like just get us some subscribers, man. We need you guys.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.